What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Studying Cinema with Cozy. Today, we're going to be reviewing Mo Better Blues, directed by Spike Lee and starring Denzel Washington and Wesley Snipes. Off rip, I really don't have a real deep synopsis on this film, a real deep breakdown or nothing. But I do want to point out that when it comes to Spike Lee movies, I feel like the best and worst part of those movies are Spike Lee himself. In this movie specifically, I feel like within context of the film, his character is the worst character in the film. If you guys have seen Mo Better Blues, you would know that his character is, the manager of Bleak, which is Denzel Washington's character, famous trumpet player. He has his own band and everything, and Spike Lee, he manages him. But Spike Lee, he's cutting bad deals, he's gambling, he's short on money, you feel me? And a lot of the moments in the movie that revolve around Spike Lee showcase him being a bad manager and an unreliable person, to the point where he's asking his own artists for money to cover his debt. And it gets real bad to the point at the end of the film where, the people who he owes money is tracking him down, comes up in the club and everything, drags him out the club and beats him down. As Spike Lee is getting drugged out of the club, he's calling out for Bleak to save him, basically, you feel me? Bleak has had to be on the front end of everything when it comes to how the band is ran. He even tried to break down the deal with the owners of the club. The owners of the club can't break no deal down with him because they're just set in stone with, what they negotiated with Spike Lee. And it's just like, all of these mishaps in the movie happen because of his character. Bleak, yes, he has his troubles with women and balancing, his main woman versus his side woman and his career. But those problems are all Bleak's problems that he could handle. He's not bringing anyone else into his world except for the people that are stepping into his world, a.k.a. Wesley Snipes' character, who tries to step on his toes a little bit by, trying to sleep with the same woman that Denzel is sleeping with. Outside of that, the main issue in the film is Spike Lee himself, you feel me? His character and the acting that he portrays through this character makes you hate the character. All in all, it makes you hate the character. Spike Lee as an actor, he's not really, Denzel or Wesley Snipes level. The fact that he's not that stellar of an actor, on top of the fact that the character, to me personally, isn't wrote out as well as it could have been, doesn't serve the film well in the end. When you see the whole thing unravel, you feel me? It really just leaves you kind of frustrated with how they depicted some of these scenes and the story at certain points. Because I feel like, honestly, Mo Better Blues was telling a good story when it revolved around Denzel and his love for his passion in music and his love for, or his complicated love for women, and how he deals with his relationships and the balance of his relationships with his woman and his passion. Seeing that whole storyline unfold was more interesting than seeing Giant, aka Spike Lee's character, seeing his story unfold with the whole gambling and him falling down this rabbit hole of, debt, you feel me? Using that storyline as a way to compromise Bleak and his passion with music was very disheartening, to say the least, you feel me? It really frustrated me to see that throughout this whole film we focused on Bleak and his relationship with these two different women and his relationship with the band and everything. But in the end, we kind of focused on Spike Lee's character and how his troubles ultimately led to Bleak's demise, you feel me? It was nothing that Bleak did that led to his own demise. It was really just an outsider, not necessarily an outsider, but his manager that led to his own demise, you feel me? And that's kind of funny with the pacing of this film, showing you how Bleak is going through ups and downs with his relationships and how these women leave him and how he, is trying to balance the two. This movie play out, you would think that Bleak's balancing of his relationships between his band, his passion, and his ladies would lead to him being forced to make a decision on what's more important and what he should choose along his journey. But honestly, those things do get chosen in the end, but it's not based off of his actions. It's based off of him sticking up for his manager, which is what he's kind of been teetering with the whole film. He's been holding Giant accountable, but also he's been allowing it to continue on for the longest. You feel me? He's been allowing Giant to kind of just weasel his way through these deals and fall into deeper debt, all while he's, holding on to this relationship with him, which he shouldn't. You feel me? Giant is showing you that he's not a good manager. He shouldn't be trusted with the money and that he's not reliable. Denzel, trying to be the good friend that he is, trying to hold on to that relationship. And it's like, okay, you're willing to let go of these women in your life because of your passion and your goals in life, but you're not willing to let go of the one man that's holding you down because, you feel me, you think that he's helping you out. Ultimately, he's not. You feel me? And it's just like, part of that honestly could go back to the way that he was raised. You feel me? They show in the beginning how his mother was hard on him when it came to him playing the trumpet. But I don't know if you could say that for real. I just think it's funny how Bleak is a womanizer. He's smart, he's intelligent, and he's very focused on everything that he's doing in life. But he can't see that Giant is in the way of him reaching higher heights. As soon as Bleak goes out to help Giant in the end, you feel me, the same people that was jumping on Giant for owing them money, they jump on Bleak. They beat him down bad to the point where they hit him with his own trumpet, bust his whole face, and now he can't even play the instrument the same now. Even after rehab and after recovering fully, he still can't play the same. Wesley Snipes, his character was focused on trying to be right here with Bleak, to get paid as much as Bleak and to just have everybody else in the band be treated, fairly as far as their pay and what they contribute to the band. Once Bleak went down, Wesley Snipes and the rest of the band, they went on and did their own thing. And the one girl that Bleak was dating throughout the movie, I guess you could call it the side piece. She was in Bleak's ear trying to, become a singer for the band and trying to, put herself on through Bleak. And ultimately, they could have helped each other out. Bleak plays the instrument, she's the singer, the rest of the band is playing their part. It could have really been a culmination of all the talents coming together. Bleak was too focused on his own personal vision, his own personal goals. He was too tunnel vision to see what was really in the way of him growing, which was Giant, him holding on to these past relationships, him holding on to things that he thought was valuable or he thought meant something to him that ultimately didn't. The people that were around him that cared about him, the ladies and the rest of the band, they fell by the wayside once he went down under with that injury. And he tried to run back to one of his old ladies, you feel me? He really tried to run back to both of them, but only one of them really stuck around. And it just goes to show how when his passion didn't fall through, he went right back to the same people that he was kind of not using, but he just didn't treat them the way they should have been treated. He really didn't see how much they brought to the table until he really didn't have nothing at the table, And we see how he goes back and tries to play again with Wesley Snipes and the band, and how his side piece is now singing for Wesley Snipes and everything. They doing the big. They're in a better club than where they were at before, putting on better performances, making more money. Bleak tries to make a comeback and he can't play the same. That's when he realizes that it's over for him. His journey is over. And he's just focused on being the dad now. And it's almost like, you see the cycle repeat itself with how his mom was treating him, how his mom wanted him to practice. And now he's doing the same thing to his son. The only difference is that he's having a little bit more leniency with his son. Just letting his son go out and play after certain hours and, just letting him be a kid. The one thing that Bleak really didn't have a chance to do as he was coming up. And you could say that is a testament to how he was treating the women in the movie, throughout the movie. And I would agree because, the way that his mother was treating him, the way that he viewed his mom, and the way that his dad came in and was trying to be like, son, if you do this, you'll be all right. If you just, trying to compromise him a little bit, trying to be a little bit more consoling. I feel like that plays a part in how he treated, Giant and how he treated the ladies that he was dating in his life. He kind of respected Giant in a certain light. And, he wanted to help Giant out and not really, turn his back on him. The same way that his father kind of, didn't really neglect him, but he was like still there for him. He told him like, yo, you should do what your mom says and then you'll be able to do this, but I'm still here. That's kind of the same attitude that Bleak approached Giant with, like, you need to stop gambling, you need to stop doing this, but I'm still here for you, you feel me? And then with the ladies in his life, it was either like you either get down or it's over with. Like either you're able to accept everything that I'm telling you that I'm gonna come with, or it's over with. And they weren't accepting of it, so they left. At that point he chose his own ego over the people that kind of cared about him, and he couldn't see it. Like I said, he couldn't really see it at the time until it was too late. But when he did see it, he ran back to him. He ran back to both of them, and only one of them was able to welcome him back with open arms. You feel me? That's the cycle that he kind of set himself up to be in. The one cycle where it's like, yeah, you could be happy doing this and, pursuing your passion. But if you're not taking the time to step back and see who's really pouring themselves into you for you to pursue your passion the right way, you're not going to be able to further yourself, because you're going to surround yourself with people that's only taken from you and not necessarily looking to push you ahead. At the end of the movie, you see Giant. He's the doorman for the club that Wesley Snipes is working at, Regardless of if Bleak had helped him at the end or not, Giant's end would have been the same regardless. He would have been, just working a regular job, trying to make all the money back and just, doing his thing, not in a manager role. I feel like that just goes to show that Bleak should have just let that ship sail when it should have, you feel me? It should have sailed. And he should have listened a little bit more to the people around him instead of being so tunnel visioned on what he thought was right. I still like this movie because of the performances I see from Denzel and Wesley Snipes and the other characters. Whenever Spike Lee is acting, I don't feel it, you feel me? It feels like he's just talking, like he's just saying the words, you feel me? Spike Lee, when he plays these characters in his own movies, he's kind of playing the same character in all of these movies. Like I don't know. I feel like the movie could have been better served if he had casted somebody to portray the manager in a way that was relatable, at least, and not so surface level to the point where it's just like you don't really care what happens to this guy and you're seeing through it. Because it really just frustrated me to see how the end of the movie really was just, Giant needed to owe some money, Bleak really trying to stand up for him, and now Bleak's whole life is compromised behind it. When throughout the whole movie, we're following Bleak and his love triangle relationship, we're following Bleak and his relationship with the band, and all of these other elements, and it's like, okay, it comes back down to Spike Lee, his character's decisions dictating how the movie ends for everybody. And I'm just like, okay. But yeah, all in all, I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. I would just say that one element of the film is something that could kind of take you out of it when you're really watching this film, you feel me, for what it is. And it's like, man, it could have been better. It could have been better a little bit, but, this is what we got. I still feel like we got a good performance from Denzel. We got a good performance from Wesley Snipes. And you see some familiar faces from other Spike Lee movies, And it's good to see the chemistry that we see with all of these characters bouncing off of each other. And, the jazz element in the movie is nice, you feel me? I feel like this movie is the epitome of what his ears are kind of feeling for when he's in a creative mode. So this movie right here is a dope movie. It's a dope movie for what it is, but I ain't gonna let that stuff go about Giant and his character and his whole arc and stuff. It just, I ain't rocking with it. But yeah, that's the review on Mo Better Blues. Like I said, I didn't have a real deep synopsis or real deep breakdown on it. I just wanted to give y'all my quick thoughts on something that's been on my mind lately when it comes to this movie, because it's really been the main thing that's been bothering me, you feel me? So yeah, make sure you guys check out the other movie reviews. We're gonna keep them coming, you feel me? And yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and follow us on all platforms at Cozy Candids. We're gonna keep them coming.